Hi there, it's Amanda, Creative Gardener. Welcome to today. So today we're going to be looking at the aloe plant. I've shown you growing and seeing some of the flowers, and now what we're going to do is look at how we propagate it. And the thing that I usually find, I don't take cuttings and I don't grow from seed, but I think you can grow from seed. But I usually find that there's usually loads of little baby plants growing beside it. So what I'm going to do is show you how I would separate it and then replant the rest of them. Okay, come on. Okay, I thought I'd show you this particular one. This is not usually how it happens, so I'm not sure whether where it had flowered and the flowers dropped, the seeds within the flower had dropped, and they've just happened to drop at the side there, and you can see the two small plants. But this is not what normally happens when the plant is growing. And let's just look around the base. Okay, no, so I might have at another time, I can't remember whether I separated it out like this. But let's look at one that we're going to actually work on, which is just over here. Currently we've been having rain, but it's still quite dry, and I'm still trying to mulch as many of the trees and, you know, get a layer down so that when it does rain, it stays there. We're on a slope, as many of you may have seen from some of the other videos. That's the highest point over there, and this is the lowest point down there where the well is. The well is just here. Okay, so and then I've put black plastic down to keep the weeds down. So I'm trying to battle several different things at the same time, but you just have to do what you can. So here is a typical I guess aloes plant. There was one main plant here, or maybe two. No, there was one actually, and what's happened is it's just spread basically, and you've got 1, 2, so it's 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9 additional plants around this one. Now you're going to want to spread them out, and I haven't yet decided where I want them to go. I was thinking maybe at the back there, but it gets really dry, and those ones over there are having problems. They're just getting back their colour now since we've had some rain. So I'm thinking of places where I can put them where they can just spread out and I'll not have any issue. And I might actually, I'm just looking over at this spot here, just looking there. So this is where my moringa patch is, so I might actually put it just at, you know, a few of them over there and get rid of them. Not get rid of them, but just allow them to grow there. So what you want to prevent is, you know, if they're all packed together, then there's risk of pests and, you know, possible disease. Now they're looking like this because of the dry weather, and I haven't been round to water them, but the more rain that we've had, the better they've done. And I've got some here as well. There was 3 here initially, and each one of them has got a couple of, that's got 2 extra babies, that's got 1, and I think this one had, did it? No, I thought that one had 1 at the side. Oh, there's one growing back there, a tiny one. So I'm going to leave that, and I would have assumed again it's where the seeds have dropped. So I didn't get to capture all the seeds from the flowers. I didn't get any actually. I hadn't thought about getting the seeds because as I say, I normally grow it from the little plantlets that come out. And then, you know, you don't have to worry about, well, I've got the dog running around in some places, or, you know, I don't want him to knock it over, or I don't want to forget that I've put it there. So we're going to tackle this one, and I'll show you the process. Okay, so here are the tools I'm going to use. My little hand spade, and I've got my cutter just to cut off any of the dead material. So I want to go as far under the grouping as possible. Okay, so I'm going to move away this grass growing underneath, beside it. So I'm just moving away some of this grass that we've got here, and any rocks. And I'm going to put the spade about 2 inches away from the plant. Go under and then lift. And then move away any of the soil. The problem with this, just the problem with the soil and where I am anyway, is that there's a lot of rocks that just seem to appear, because when I initially prepared the beds I'd removed all the rocks, and then it just seemed like over time rocks just seem to appear. Let me move this out of the way. Rocks just seem to appear. You want to make sure that the roots are intact. So you just have to take your time, really, and maybe next time I won't allow it to grow so big before I decide to move. It's really, really compact in there. And their roots aren't that deep, so you can usually just, I mean, I've gone and damaged that leaf, but you can usually pull them away and you've got quite a lot of you've got roots intact. They're not deep, but I just had to make sure I moved as far away as possible, and then they just pull apart. They're separate plants in their own right, and not like some of the other plants that you may have. They will, like the mother-in-law's tongue, that would be more, I need to use this again. They kind of, or the bird of paradise, they kind of join together, and they kind of just, they have roots coming out, but they're attached on one long thing. So they, with the bird of paradise, they're usually attached together by a tap. I don't know what is the kind of root you call it, and it joins them together, and then there's roots coming out. There's roots coming out from the bottom. So these are the, with the aloes, they're separate. But like here, they're quite compact. So I'm just going to need to tease the soil away and then just lift and separate. There's one. See, and it's got some new roots as well, so that's good. Use some more soil. There we go, that's that one. Nearly there, because we just want to leave one in this space, because you know it's going to grow even more. Okay, these four are kind of connected, but as you can see, the roots are quite shallow. Some pests there, and there's a little in the space. Actually, let me get closer with you. There's the 9 plants. This clump is kind of clumped together, and we've got the main one here, which I'm going to leave. And what I will do is just, ooh, the stem. Oh, it looks really nice, the stem. So this is the flower stem, and if I look around, I may even see where the flowers, some of the flowers dropped. Might be able to, but I'm not, as I said, I'm not bothered. So even things like this, so that's come off, it was growing. But what I wanted to show you is where there was a gap in the clump, you've got snails. So we don't want those growing, so we'll get rid of those, and then we'll just leave this and put some I'll put some of the Mexican sunflower here, just some fertilizer. I don't normally put it down for the aloes, but as we've kind of cut some, not cut some away, but this is the clump that's kind of grown together. And what I need to do now is just tease these apart and see what else you've got growing in there, that will, if you allow them to continue to grow together, they'll just be, eaten. You can't then get good, healthy specimens like this. And I'll need to clean out all the inside where I've got some soil in there. Yeah, so that is how you propagate but how you separate, really. You see, it comes apart really easily. And as I say, what I'll do is just plant these up in an area where I've got some space at the moment. I hadn't decided what I wanted to grow, so I'm going to put these in and see how they do there. Just put that there for now. And I need to just make sure that I get rid of all the snails. Oops. And what I've got to be mindful of is they sometimes lay their eggs, and their eggs look like that pale yellow. This isn't an egg, but they look that colour, yellow. But you've got some frolicking there. So you can see that one in action. So as I say, they damage the fruit, they damage the plant themselves. Anyway, so and they're the ones who they bite into it, and yeah, you stop it from getting any other kind of sicknesses and diseases, and diseases, not sicknesses. I recommend separating the plants like this and then growing on, and then replanting them, and then you'll get additional plants. And just you know, think about where they may get some shade. I don't think they like full sun. So I'm going to look around and see where's the best place to plant these particular ones. Okay, so here we are. Here are the 11 plants. Well, there's 9 here that I've just spaced out, and as they grow, they're gonna spread out as well. So I planted them here. In the afternoon, they'll be getting shade from this tree here, and as we get more rain, the moringa trees are going to fill out a bit more. And then I've put 2 over here, so it's shaded here, it's on a slope, and I'm going to try and flatten some of this out a bit so it's more easier to get to. Cole, what are you doing over there? Cole, come here. Come here. Anyway, so I'm going to water them all in and let's see how they do. But I know these ones. I know these ones are going to do pretty well because, as I say, these are in semi-shade. These are going to get more shade as the day goes on and the sun kind of sets over in the west. But yeah, there you have the aloes plant. It's quite easy to separate. I will look for the flowers and put the flowers that have fallen off and see if any are growing from seed. But I normally just take the little plantlets, I wait for the little plantlets to form, and then I will, once I get to the size that you've seen, they're more established and they're ready to go out on their own. So yeah, good luck, and let me know how you get on. And I will be showing you some other plants in which you can propagate in the same way. And it's usually the succulents. So the paddle plant is also another plant that grows like that. And there's another one that I forget the name, but I'll let you know. But there's several plants in the succulent kind of family that will propagate themselves like that, and you'll have the little babies. And then you've got ones that you can give away. You can get them when they're smaller and put them in smaller pots, depending, and give them as gifts, or you know, plant them around your space. So I do use it quite a bit as like a shampoo and a conditioner. I love the way that it kind of foams in the same way. It has that kind of same texture as shampoo, and so it's really good for your skin. So it'll soothe your skin, the scalp, and it's got lots of, you know, vitamins and stuff that will benefit your skin. Okay, so I'll leave it there for now. As I say, let me know how you get on, and look forward to hearing from you. Take care.